has been an exciting weekend for me because something finally came in the mail, and that would be this beauty right here. After Apple's website crashing on me about 5 times when I tried to pre-order this thing, I was finally able to get an order through, and I think it was about exactly 2 Fridays later when I actually received this thing. I'm so stoked on it. I came from the 12 Pro, and this was just the standard size as well, and so I decided to go big and went with the 15 Pro Max in natural titanium. This thing has been a blast to use. I've been really enjoying it. The cameras are amazing. The action button's really cool to customize. I know there's already a million videos out there on this new phone, but it's been awesome, and it's just a great phone. I've really been enjoying it. But today's video isn't about the iPhone 15 Pro Max per se, but it's about accessories. And I'm very excited to show you a couple of cases today that I received from Nomad, as well as a couple of their charging cables and their new 130 watt GAN power adapter. The thing's a beast. So I've got 2 of their cases. I've got the sport case in white, and I've got their rugged case in blue. And then of course we've got the power adapter right here, 130 watt. We've got their Kevlar charging cable right here, and this thing is 10 feet long. And then we've also got their universal USB-C cable in Kevlar as well, and this is the 5-foot length. So we're gonna break down all of this. I've got some numbers with different devices that I charged up and how long it took to charge them. So we'll go over those details in a bit, but let's go ahead and start with these cases. Okay, so kicking it off with this first case, this is gonna be the sport case, and this is in the white color. So we'll go ahead and pop this out. Now you're gonna notice on this case, I've got this little O snap. It's not a pop socket, but it's a you know, MagSafe basically finger hold that works really well, and it's super slim. You can see it literally doesn't even stick out further than the camera protector around the camera area, which is awesome. So you don't even know it's there. It's also magnetic, which is cool too. But why I'm stoked about that is because it pairs extremely well with this sport case. The sport case has magnets built into it right here, and so all MagSafe products work extremely well with this case. Let's go ahead and snap the phone right in here. Now, one thing I will mention too is I do have a screen protector on this screen of this new phone, and you can see around the edges that it does not interfere with it at all. It fits perfectly. It doesn't lift or bubble the edges or anything like that. All right, so details on this thing. It's a polycarbonate frame. It's got a PET backplate, a TPU bumper, which is really nice. It's got sort of these indentations on the sides here to grip it, and that's a really nice touch when you're picking up your phone. You have a really nice little handhold there. All the buttons are anodized aluminum, which is also nice, and they've got like a little bit of jimping, which is kind of cool too, especially on the lock button. There's no jimping on this side, but the lock button has a bit of jimping, and that's just nice, a little texture when you're pressing it. A microfiber interior, as you saw there, and this thing's rated for an 8-foot drop. So that's pretty good. I mean, if you're like 6 foot tall and you're holding it at chest height and it drops, you know you're gonna be good. Overall, this case feels really nice in your hand. I will say that it's not the slimmest case ever. Along the edges of the phone here, there are cases obviously that are extremely slim, but I don't think that's, you know, what they were going for here. It's slim enough to where it doesn't feel like this phone is this massive brick in your hand, but could probably be slightly slimmer in my opinion. The one thing that I did notice, and this just may be a Pro Max thing, is the sides. You can kind of, you see how like there's a little bit of looseness right here on the sides, and that's probably just due to the size of this phone. To keep rigidity along these edges would be really difficult, especially with this being like a rubber plasticky material. But overall, this is a great case. I would highly recommend it, and it's the one that I'm currently running. The other thing too is around the camera, it completely covers the camera, so when you set it down, there's no problem. Complete protection. Sport case in the white with the natural titanium phone looks sick. Looks super sick. All right, then we're gonna put this side by side with the rugged case. So this is a newish case for Nomad. Oh, this is really nice. So the specs on this are just gonna be a little bit different. It feels like the sides actually might even be a little bit thicker. So this has got a matte finish to kind of not have a lot of fingerprints going on, but you can kind of see this is like a grayish dark blue, and it's a really nice color. I really like it a lot. Okay, so grabbing the phone and getting this thing in here. It is definitely more rigid. It's actually a lot more difficult to just get the phone in here, into the bumpers here. So we'll go ahead and try and slide this in, but man, that's really nice too. Polycarbonate frame. This one has TPU bumpers and a TPU camera ring as well. It's got the same microfiber interior. The biggest difference is gonna be the corner bumpers. This thing's got raised edges to protect the screen and the camera, but the bumpers or the corners are definitely fortified on this thing. You can kind of see here. They're definitely thicker. I really like this. I thought that it was gonna feel a lot more bulky than the sport case, but in reality, it's really not. It's really not at all. It's just the sides there a little bit more built out, but this thing feels great. I'm super impressed with this case. It's rated for a 15-foot drop versus the 8-foot drop on the sport case, and so that gives you peace of mind if you're doing something crazy and this thing falls out of your pocket or out of your hand at 15 feet. You know you're gonna be good. This feels really nice while the phone is inside. It definitely, I mentioned with the other one that the sides felt a little bit loose. You don't have that problem with this at all. This is definitely more rigid, which feels really good. And then really nice thick jimping on the lock button, which I also really like and appreciate too. So those two cases are really cool. And again, MagSafe compatible. These things will work with all kinds of different accessories. I've used them in my Forerunner with a MagSafe like Scotch mount, and so it sits on there no problem. So I've got an Apple little MagSafe battery pack right here that snaps on. So here's the rugged case. You can hear that snap on, and then it tells you right there, boom, it's charging. This is strong enough, literally can hold this thing and shake it and it's not coming off. Actually, it takes a little bit of effort. You can feel the magnets, like, hear that? Very strong. Another thing too is I've been using this O-Snap, but it also works extremely strongly. Honestly, this might pull this. Oh, it didn't pull it off. That sticks really well, and I know it'll work well. It'll work just about the same as the rugged case. Okay, next up is going to be charging. We got some fun stuff here. All right, so let's go with this thing first. So this is the new 130 watt power adapter with GAN technology. So this has got 3 USB-C ports. This will push 100 watts out of the top port and 30 watts from the bottom 2 ports. Now it kind of just depends on how many that you have plugged in at the same time. If you've got a laptop or a tablet plugged into the top port, and then you've got like 2 smaller devices like phones plugged into the bottom 2, you're pushing 70 watts from the top port and then 30 watts in each of the bottom 2. Now if you've only got 2 devices plugged in and you're charging a laptop, a tablet, or a phone from the top port, you're gonna be using 100 watts from the top plug, and then you're gonna be using 30 watts from the second plug. Now that's only if you have 2 plugged in. Now if you've only got 1 device plugged in to the top port, then you're pushing 100 watts. And of course, you'll need a cable that can push 100 watts of power, and the Nomad Kevlar cables do that. So this thing's a beast. I did some testing with it. Basically, I just ran a few simple tests with it. So it charged my wife's iPhone 14 Pro from 1% to 100% in about an hour and 45 minutes. Now, that doesn't seem like super fast. One thing that I did notice though is that I was plugged into a power brick that may not have been rated for 100 watts. But from 0 to 100, that's still pretty quick. Now, what was kind of crazy is the laptops. So my wife has like a 2019 model MacBook Pro. I think it's the 15 or 16 inch model. So it's the big boy. So I was able to charge that from 20% to 100% in an hour and 50 minutes. So that's pretty stinking quick for a big laptop like that. And then my MacBook Air M2, from 0, like dead 0, all the way to 100%, and it only took 3 minutes longer. So an hour and 53 minutes from 0 to 100. So that's pushing a lot of power, and when you need to charge something quick, it works really well. And that, I forgot to mention, that was also using the MacBooks here and there to check an email or respond to a client or anything like that. So that wasn't just sitting still, laptop closed. That was like using it here and there. So that's pretty stinking impressive. So this brick is awesome. It's smaller than what you get from Apple. Apple's is a little bit bigger. It's a more compact size, pushes out more power, and you've got 3 USB-C ports out of this thing. So I'm impressed with this. Let's talk about this one next. So this is their USB-C cable, Kevlar USB-C cable. And this thing's 10 feet long. So really, really like everything about this thing. So this thing's got USB-C plugs on both ends of it. It's Kevlar, and this thing pushes, I think, 100 watts of power. 5-year guarantee. Nomad is climate neutral as a business, so that's really nice too if you're into the earth. What's really nice about this cable too is it comes with this little cable tie. So when you're not using it or you're only using a bit of the cord, you can use this cable tie to kind of wrap it up and keep things nice and clean. This is a thick cable, but it's amazing. Along with that, Nomad also sent me their universal USB-C cable. So this is cool because you can pull off these adapters that are attached and switch up the port that you want to use. So you can go from USB-C to USB-A, and then you can go from micro USB, which is right here, to USB-C. So this can come in clutch when you've got multiple devices and you don't want to bring a bunch of cables with you. You can just bring one. So these things are really nice. This also pushes out 100 watts of power. It's got a cable tie as well, and it's super strong. Kevlar. I mean, that's like strong stuff, right? So heavy duty, 5-year guarantee. No brainer if you ask me. Nomad did send me this gear for free, however I am and did express all of my own opinions and what I really thought about this stuff. So thank you Nomad for sending this stuff out. I'm super stoked to be using it all and testing it here over the next few months. And that's not it. Today's video was just part of what they sent me. So in the next one, you are going to see the leather goods and their different types of leather cases that might interest you. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps out the channel a ton. There is a link below for any of this stuff from Nomad that might interest you if you want to buy it. Please use that link as it helps support this channel. My name is Jevin and I will see you in the next one. Later.